We're exploring something new today that man must realize the importance of men. The real deal, not just any men converse with ladies. Contemporary dating is packed of bewilderment, drama, and emotional roller coaster, but the real high is here. Value men approach it in a different way, and you guessed it, they use the power of, "This isn't about playing games," Stoicism, attempting to pass for someone you are not, or feigning coolness without cheating lines. No phony assurance, simply genuine, unbreakable strength. I'll give you 10 important how to speak to women as like they are valuable. Conversations between a man and a master. By managing your feelings at the conclusion of this, you won't simply be a man who attracts ladies, you will be the one they are pursuing. We're here even if modern dating is broken. To solve that, stay still, and I swear you'll depart with useful tactics that alter the course of events for you. Let's begin with the most serene trust in discussions. Let's begin with the basis for being a man of high value. When you're reacting, maintain your composure. Emotionally to each and every small thing that the woman asks, if you've already lost. This contentious fact about women is attracted to emotional regulation rather than a state of anarchy in which everyone's addicted to social media approval, and it's uncommon to find drama males who maintain composure. And ladies, take note when you speak with a "never let a woman see you perspire." You're in charge when she tries to test your tolerance, when she is making fun of you or hurling some crazy curveball your way, but remain composed. Reasons why high-value guys prosper in talking to ladies is easy because women aren't emotional beings, searching for a fun person to spend time with. They're programmed to search for a man who is able to cope with stress when you keep your cool, particularly in uncomfortable or stressful circumstances. "I am not like everyone," you are telling her. Otherwise, Well, picture a time when you're not with her and the dialogue takes a strange turn. Perhaps she says something that might confuse most males. If you remain composed, smile, and react coolly, you've already demonstrated her worth more than any ostentatious attire or outstanding work ever might occur during a chat, and feel compelled to provide an explanation. Justify your behavior or respond emotionally. Stop, take a deep breath, and allow the answer originates from a state of peace. Regulate and observe the impact of your words. Greater weight number 2. When conversing with purpose, here is where the majority of men fall short. Don't talk too much, high-value males. Talk only to fill the void. Every phrase they use when speaking to women they have a purpose and don't ramble. Overflow the discussion with pointless. They talk when it's important, and they made the silence work to their advantage. Is among the most disregarded strategies in contemporary dating, yet it's really, when employed properly, strong silence conveys assurance and demonstrates that you're confident in the fact that you don't require confirmation or consent from her, and it is uncommon in a society where everyone is attempting to outspeak one other and overshare a man with a purposeful voice. Things that women are sick of listening to: identical sentences, identical compliments, typical routine. Here's a useful example rather than explaining to her how she is attractive, just like all other men. Say something meaningful and genuine. "You have a fascinating viewpoint I'd like to learn more about now." Currently, you've opened the door for a curious, more in-depth discussion, and she wishes to exchange speaking practice with less emphasis on when you listen more than you speak. Make sure your speech is considerate, meaningful, and worthwhile. You'll discover that you gain more respect from ladies when you make room for the third stillness. Emotionally disengaged, let's discuss. Most guys fall here after they are rejected, fall apart. They dread and fear it, and they allow it to demolish when it occurs. They're self-assurance but highly esteemed men. They don't give a damn about being rejected because they are not defined by rejection. Private, and it's most definitely not an indication of their great regard for males. Recognize that not all women are going to show attention, and it's okay when a women don't fall because they don't feel it. They separate, smile at nothing but God, and go on. Consider this. Why allow one interaction? Assess your worth. The reality is that women find themselves more drawn to males who are not deterred by rejection, since it demonstrates emotional fortitude when regardless, you convey that your self-assurance originates internally, not from external confirmation, which is extremely women today are accustomed to males who disintegrate upon hearing that when they witness someone who doesn't even bat an eye. Makes them wonder if women are able to sense you will be crushed by that rejection. She's going to instantly lose respect. But when she realizes you can leave confidently despite being rejected, it changes the dynamic, making you the guy who can feel without her approval self-satisfied. This is where you establish you yourself. Aside from that, the Stoic man is always ready to lose, and the reason for that is that he's not passionately committed to the result of a single encounter. He is aware of his one woman does not equate to confidence. Date, or he's playing the long game at one point. Game, and females are able to perceive that rejection becomes unimportant as he recognizes the wider picture of he stands out for his emotional detachment, and all of a sudden the woman who turned him down is questioning her choice. The instant you demonstrate that rejection doesn't shake you, you've reversed the roles, and that sort of self-assurance is captivating when you don't respond badly to rejection, or instead smile and express gratitude to her for her time, then take your head and leave. Held high, this goes beyond simply being. The goal of being nice is to send a clear, tell them you're not easily influenced. You're not someone who puts your self-worth in the hands of others, and that's strong. The fourth is keeping your cool in any circumstance. How often have you been, perhaps during a hot time on a date, had a dispute and felt compelled to emotionally blow up? Most men lose their cool. They let the circumstances dictate their actions. When doing so causes them to lose authority over the way people view them. But here's what you must understand, that calmness is power. Today's dating environment is full of drama. The man who maintains his composure always prevails. Women are continuously putting men to the test, triggering their feelings to observe how they'll respond as soon as when you begin to lose, you get defensive. You lose respect and worth when you're cool. Men maintain their composure no matter what, even when the discussion becomes heated. They don't stay calm and take a break if she's challenging you. Don't flinch if she's testing you. Your women who are in charge are drawn to men who is capable of managing themselves under pressure. That's what a high-value man looks like. Maintain composure when dealing with daily issues. The next time you're annoyed by someone, don't respond right away. Be composed and give it a little room, and see how much more you feel in charge of the fifth outcome is active listening. Live in a world where distractions are everywhere. Social media on cell phones is infinite. Alerts, and everyone is constantly eager to go on to the next point. But here's a fact that can fundamentally alter how women think you're among the most. Among the appealing traits a man can possess are being totally engaged in a discussion. When a valuable man converses with a woman, he's 100% present, not just physically. He listens and interacts mentally there as well. And he gives her the impression that she's the only individual that level in the room of attention is really uncommon these days. And as a result, it's extremely. Unfortunately, this is the truth for most men, are simply awaiting their opportunity to speak. They're nodding, but they're thinking. They're already considering the upcoming what they will say. But when you actively listen without interjecting or getting your next line ready in your mind, get away from the situation right away. You're demonstrating to her that she's not like any other guy. Ever addressed in a society where women frequently feel ignored when you give them your whole focus is a game changer, but it's not simply nodding in agreement. It's about giving her the impression that what she's saying important to keep eye contact while providing considerate answers and even inquiries. Follow-up inquiries that demonstrate you're being attentive lets her know that you're invested in her words. To that extent, engagement gives her a sense of worth and valued, which is where the connection actually begins to take place. Engage in active listening by making eye contact and reacting. Put your phone away with consideration, the awe to examine it, and avoid let your thoughts wander to what you're going to. Say, next, just be here and you'll see. How much more involved she gets after she senses your sincere interest in what she says, and it establishes the setting for a more profound and significant sixth connection, Stoic body. Body language conveys more information than words. Rather than using words, the majority of communication involves non-verbal communication. Before you open your body is sending a message. And the worst part is that most guys don't even realize how much they converse without using the same language as you. Observe how you move and how you keep or break eye contact with all of these send cues, and women will notice them. Men command a high value immediately, focusing on more than just their words. However, their mannerisms are you slouching or are you standing tall? Your movements are controlled and purposeful, or are you twitching? Are you making eye contact, resolute and self-assured, or are you frantically casting your eyes around? All of these minor, seemingly unimportant details have a significant impact on how. When ladies receive you, you've not even said a word, and now imagine that you are walking into a room while remaining silent, but due to the manner in which you carry, people pay attention to you. This is the high-value men's body language power. Understand that their presence speaks for itself. Volumes, so they don't have to fumble. Avoid hunching over, and they don't avoid eye contact, please. Rather, they move with poise and purpose and keep a confident, steady gaze contact, as like you're revealing the I'm in charge of the globe, and I'm not easily. Women who have been shook are visual beings who examine these bodily indicators more closely than your body language may give you the impression that displays anxiety, insecurity, or a lack of assurance that people will notice it instantly. But once you exhibit composure with slow and controlled movements, they feel that you're calm, confident, and utterly at ease in your own skin. Nonverbal communication of this type is very appealing. Here's another crucial: men who rush should pay attention to detail and speed. By the way they move, whether it's frequently moving, speaking, or even making gestures appear to be apprehensive or doubtful. Conversely, value men move more slowly, and their behaviors are purposefully measured and intentional, regardless of whether they're grabbing a drink, changing their stance, or looking at someone in the eye at all times, is carried out with assurance and command. This is not a hurried or anxious moment. A serene, unhurried manner is a subtle but strong self-indicator assurance. Pay careful attention to your body language by standing tall, maintaining intense eye contact, and moving slow down your motions intentionally. Spend time and allow each action to be intentional. By taking this action, you'll increase your visibility right now and begin taking control of the space before you even. Talking like way can not only increase your appealing to women, but it will also change the way that everyone sees you. Number 7, mastery is all around you. We have all experienced emotional control, Circumstances where feelings are strong, dramas that make you feel tense are increasing, and you believe that most males are on the verge of losing control. They become protective and strike out at that trap. Out, or worse, they allowed their feelings to fully control their behavior in the times when they lose control their feelings, which is where they lose. But the thing about high-value males is, don't let their feelings to rule them. Recognize that emotional regulation is their most potent weapon. You must acknowledge that women are naturally attracted to the intensity of their emotions. They wish to check your ability to maintain composure. When times are difficult, consider how. Do you know a lot of males who react? When it comes to the tiniest thing, emotionally common. But when you're the man capable of maintain his composure and refuse to become immediately entangled in the chaos, you stand out among the many men in the world who crumble under stress. You turn into the exception to a woman's test-taking. It's not because she is emotionally desires for you to fail, as she's attempting to determine whether you can manage She's under pressure to find out if you're the type of man who will be resilient in the face of emotional upheaval, or if you react emotionally, fold. If you act rashly or lose your anger, she will regard you as merely another man who is unable to manage stress. But if you maintain your composure calm and logical, she'll begin to consider you to be a different person. Who is in charge, regardless of how high-value guys are aware that feelings are passing quickly, and being enmeshed in them only results in poverty. Making decisions and being able to step back from emotional turmoil and maintain your composure is among the most alluring features. You may have pictured yourself in the center of a furious dispute, and rather than increasing your volume or being defensive, you pause, consider, and calmly reply. That demonstrates true strength, and it's the brutal reality that women desire is uncommon. To be with a man who is capable of keeping them safe, not only physically, but also emotionally. If emotions have the power to influence you, how are you able to provide the necessary protection? To demonstrate your unwavering grounding, and that no amount of dramatic emotion can cause you to lose your equilibrium. But this doesn't imply that you disregard her feelings, but it does imply that you don't allow her feelings to keep your composure and hum your feelings. Keep things under control the next time. Joins the discussion, regardless of whether it's with a female friend, co-worker, or even step aside for a moment and avoid becoming involved. Emotionally, take a deep breath, remain composed, and answer rationally rather than emotionally, and you'll observe that you not only acquire more authority over the circumstance, but you also get greater regard from individuals in your vicinity. You possess the ability to overcome emotional. What sets high-value men apart is turmoil. From the others, when you decline to receive enmeshed in the action, you're demonstrating self-defense to her, that you are also capable of protecting her, and that's a game. The eighth changer is posing a thoughtful question. Most men ask the same questions. Tedious inquiries. What is your occupation? Which movie is your favorite? But here's high-value males go deeper in the transaction. Pose important and well-considered questions that spark discussions that are truly intrigued by the individual they are speaking with too, and they employ inquiries to generate women's connections are utilized to surface-level discussions, so when you arrive with something more significant, it takes them by surprise, because they're used to men never diving, only skimming the surface into the true causes of their behavior. When she can tell you're genuinely interested, you are different from everyone else, merely attempting to impress or kill time. Using your usual small conversation, you're really interested in her personality regarding what makes her special. Here's why. It's crucial to ask considerate inquiries creates a route for her too. She expresses herself differently than most men do. Permit yourself to go deeper so you can get to know her well enough to make her feel observed, valued, and when a woman feels more connected to and understood by, she will recall that talk. Long after the event is finished, just because you allowed her the room to discuss the items that are important to her, such rather of the typical, "What do you do for a living?" Have fun and tell me what you've always desired but haven't done yet, or what's a passion that you've had since childhood. She thinks when she is asked questions like these. And ask her to give a sample of herself that most men don't inquire about. Ask her more in-depth questions instead of casually. Regarding her aspirations, her interests, or what truly motivates her in life, you'll discover that the discussion becomes far more captivating, unforgettable, and genuine belief in the number 9 without the thing about confidence, ego. The only thing that kills is ego. Men of great value are self-assured, but they don't boast, so they don't need to show it. They don't attempt to control the dialogue, and they don't require outside confirmation of their confidence. Speaks for itself in a subtle and, in practical terms, this is the type of confidence without being ostentatious or noisy. It's strong. It's a man's confidence, who is aware of his value, but lacks the must promote it when you radiate that energy that women naturally absorb. You don't have to inform her that you're fantastic, that she can see it in your be one of the biggest, one of the faults guys make, is to confuse ego with assurance. They believe that by boasting or flaunting themselves to gain respect or admiration. But this is the contentious. The more you want to prove yourself, the more truth. The more you divulge your feeling insecure and boasting about your work. Women are not impressed with your automobile or position. They are repulsed by it. Genuine confidence is being aware that you don't need to provide any proof. To everyone, you've already entered the room. Being aware of your worth, and that's silence. The appeal of assurance is much greater than no woman could ever say something arrogant. Are repulsed by the haughtiness they observe. They are looking for a man who is aware of his identity and at ease in his own flesh without considering it necessary to. When you're in a situation where you're quietly assured as you let your behaviors and mannerisms to make a statement than words, which is when you make a statement in the most effective method the next time don't be tempted to boast or look for approval. Allow your behavior to speak for you and concentrate on remaining modest and remaining silent. When you radiate confidence, you'll discover that women are far more interested and attracted to your sincere confidence than any self-centered effort to impress. When you radiate this type of subtle assurance that you'll be respected, more impact and focus, without needing to raise a. Finally, finger number 10 ends with grace. How you conclude a conversation is very important, and that's where many men make mistakes. Too many men stay longer than they should, believing that if they continue to speak, eventually they will say the correct thing, to win her over. But this is the harsh reality. As you drag it out longer, the more you're probably going to make things awkward. Valued guys are aware of when to end a chat, thankfully, before departing the A woman who is interested in you and wants more. You don't have to clutch or force it. To the conversation, ask for confirmation, or make an effort to get one final compliment, or make a joke to keep her high value. Interested males are aware of the ability to depart on a positive note when you leave a conversation in a genuine way, and, with assurance, you leave her thinking, wow, I desire to learn more about him, so you leave a lasting impression. Putting a polite conclusion to a conversation doesn't mean abruptly ending things. It's about observing the space and determining when the discussion has peaked and is coming to an end. Smoothly rather than dragging, and wishing for the ideal moment you produce that time by departing at the appropriate period. Consider it this way. It's preferable to make her think about your cravings, an additional exchange rather than to exhaust. You're welcome and start a discussion. Feel compelled or uninteresting women recall how that concludes the discussion. Impression they bring along, so when you confidently leave her at the end, with a favorable recollection, and that's what will cause her to consider you. Afterward, you're not the one who made an attempt too harsh or remained too long. You are the one that departed according to his terms. Practice concluding in a natural and gracious manner. Keep things positive and know when to depart, and boldly do it while grinning and giving a warm but say goodbye quickly, and move on to allow her be the one considering what you didn't mention, and I'm curious about it. Better to leave her wanting more at all times, rather than remaining too long and losing the magic. So that's number 10. Effective strategies for speaking to women, such as a great regard for man by using Stoicism values. Keep in mind that it's not about what you say that, but how do you say it. How you conduct yourself and how you manage women are inherently attracted to pressure. Men who have emotional self-control and don't let other influences to control, be that man if you're worth it. Sincere about changing the way you date, becoming a high-value man, hit and living. Click the subscribe button now and leave a let us know which tip resonated in the comments below, most with you, and if you're prepared, see our other films on for additional information, elevating your mental state and enhancing your self-assurance, and leading the life you deserve gratitude for seeing.